and welcome back to the Vital Premier League podcast with your writers from the Vital Network. I am Ash from Vital Newcastle, and we've just got Liam with us again from Vital Everton. You're left with the good looking two, as nobody else was feeling up to it tonight. How are you doing, Liam?
I'm not too bad. You okay, Ash?
Yeah, I think we've got some good stuff to get through tonight, given tomorrow's fixture list.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's playing tomorrow, but yeah, we'll give it a go.
There's a little game that we might get into a bit later on. Right, so we'll kick off as usual with looking back at our predictions from last week and how we got on. I'm not going to go through every game like I did last week because I was boring myself there. So what I've done is I've looked at everyone's predictions versus the actual score, and I've assigned 3 points if you got the score right, 1 point if you got the result, and obviously no points if you were completely wrong. So,
Right.
Crippy won last week with a points total of 9, with 6 correct results and 1 correct score, which was the Southampton West Ham game. That's not a bad effort. When I was going down the list doing them, obviously in the order that they were sort of listed on Sky Sports, it took until the 7th game before he got one wrong.
I bet he kind of wishes that Villa had that kind of form.
That kind of foresight. I bet. Yeah. I was starting to think he was going to get them all right. I'm worried about him. I think he might be a wizard of some kind.
Yeah.
Liam, you got 7 points, mate. You got 1 absolutely spot on, which was Brentford Brighton, and then another 5 correct results. And I didn't get a single one completely right, but I did get 6 results. Meh. Considering I just kind of make mine up on the spot, I don't really go off form or anything. I just go with a gut feeling.
Hopefully your prediction for tomorrow's game, you'll be wrong again.
I think I'm right on that one. Like, have you got one in the pocket for that? Given that your whole thing is back the home team under the lights.
I mean, yeah, I always go for back the home team under the lights. But again, we'll get onto that when
we'll get onto it in a bit. Yeah, well, I'm excited now. Right, so we'll have a look at some talking points over the weekend. You wanted to bring up Ivan Toney. Is he ready to go to the World Cup?
See, I like Toney. I rate him a lot. And it's someone that I thought we could have potentially gone for if we lost Calvert-Lewin in the summer. Like, when he played us, he absolutely bullied Godfrey. And, Godfrey's a big guy, he's a unit, and he's got pace, but he absolutely bullied him. Him and Ollie Watkins, when we played Villa, both of them just made him look like a rag doll. Like, they were just so good against him. And I like Godfrey as well, but my only issue is, it doesn't matter who goes as backup striker, Harry Kane's not going to get dropped.
No, because he's Harry Kane.
I mean, yeah, we saw that at the Euros. Was it last year now? Yeah, last year. There was times where, was it the Germany game? Obviously, it was the knockouts. Calvert-Lewin wasn't even on the bench. And it's a knockout game. Like, I'm not, obviously, it's up to Southgate at the end of the day, but if you're needing to win, you want to put a striker on the pitch. And obviously, Calvert-Lewin at the time was banging form. He's got a leap on him, but I just feel sorry for any striker that goes because they're not going to get a look in. No, it's just unfair.
It's becoming. I think, what was it he said years ago when he got the job, that he wasn't going to be picking favourites, he'd be picking on form, and now he's reverted to picking favourites, and that's why in my mind he's got to go. You can't have an international manager doing that.
No, I mean, he's done well, but at the same time, the same tactics for the 2 tournaments. Yeah. We got to the semis and we got to the final, but we lost with the same tactics. We took the lead and then just sat back.
Yeah, we're too predictable.
We were crying out for a change in that Italy game for so long, and you didn't make them.
Yeah,
I'm like, it was so good that game as well, though. But it's just annoying because it was there. Like, we literally had it.
Yeah, it was ours for the taking, for sure.
Yeah, like when Shaw scored, I'm not gonna lie. Like, everyone was buzzing, but I genuinely actually felt like we were going to win.
I don't think I'd quite got that far with it. I don't know.
It was half time, weren't it? It was half time. It was 1-0, and it was like, we might actually do something here, you know. And then 5 minutes more, 5 minutes more, 5 minutes more. It's like, I'm looking at the time, and but it was just, yeah. Again, I think I'd like to think this is his last tournament, but then who takes over?
That is the big question, because there's nobody. I mean, Potter for me would have been the obvious one, but he's just gone to Chelsea, so he's
definitely
out. Eddie Howe's already said not happening. So that's going to leave somebody like someone that we're going to talk about in a bit who's probably going to be sacked by the time we finish recording.
I was probably going to say that, yeah, Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
It'll be someone like him, or like, I don't know, a John Terry.
Yeah, somebody
someone
who's
that used to be a
great player, but doesn't mean they can manage.
I mean, international football is a lot easier, in my opinion. I mean, Gerrard's done it in Scotland, a 2-team league, so it should be nice and easy for him. But at the same time, is he going to start picking players who he likes, or is he going to be on form?
Just all Liverpool players. Getting them all to change their passports, getting more Salah a dodgy British passport.
Yeah, I mean, that was one thing, what's his face, Southgate did at the start. I mean, Dom Solanke got called up to the England squad. Like, why?
Why?
Do you know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to him, he's having a good season so far, but he got called up to the England squad when he was at Liverpool because he was at Liverpool.
Yeah. It was Venables, it was
fair
all
enough
Tottenham.
If he was doing something, but it's just, no, not on. Well, one other player who potentially going to the World Cup, because obviously we've got no right backs. Who's your number one right back to start the tournament then?
I don't even think I need to speak it out loud, do I?
I mean, yeah, that is a given. So then, in fact, actually, right. So who's in goal?
Right. This is another one that we'll probably get on to when we start fighting about tomorrow's match, but it's got to be Pope for me. It would stick in my throat to say Pickford, but I do think Pickford will get in there.
So I think it'll be Pickford purely because he's never let England down.
Yeah.
But I think it depends on what it's like going up to the World Cup. I think it will be between Pickford and Ramsdale. I think Pope will go, but because Arsenal are top of the league, it makes sense.
And because of Pope's error in the last England game, I think that might cost him.
Maybe.
It shouldn't. Keepers make mistakes all the time. But
centre backs?
I think Cody's a good shout for centre back.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's going to be Maguire, even though he shouldn't be anywhere near the England team ever again. But Tarkowski as well. Your lads.
See, I'm happy for them to both go, but at the same time, I'd rather them not, simply because if any of them make a mistake, we know what the media is like.
Yeah, it'll all be Everton's fault.
It's just, in my opinion, it's going to be Everton's fault. Everton defender, Conor Cody. Everton defender, James Tarkowski. Everton goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford.
Yeah.
It's not England's, but one player who I thought had a good game on the weekend was Joe Gomez.
Yes,
you said you didn't watch it, but he was. I mean, City didn't turn up properly, but he had a really good game, and if he can keep up that form going up to the World Cup, and he can stay fit, he's one. But I also like Tomori though. I think he's got to be in the squad.
Yeah. I don't know. To be honest, England's defence isn't the best at the minute. They haven't got a great crop to pick from.
No.
I'm sat here trying to think of a left back, and I can't think of one.
So the only is just Chilwell. That's it.
Yeah, Chilwell.
And obviously Luke Shaw. He had a very good game against us. But there's one good game he's had this season, from what I can remember.
Yeah, Newcastle are apparently going to make a move for him in January, so I'm going to keep a closer eye on him. But I don't know. He's always been quite hit and miss. When he hits, he hits. If he has a good game, he has a great game. But sometimes he goes a bit quiet. So I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing for the obviously we're talking about Toney to the World Cup. It's fine having a good backup striker, but I just don't know who's going to start in defence. Like Maguire, he can't get into the United squad. He shouldn't be in the team for me.
No, he shouldn't.
He shouldn't be in the squad. But it's Southgate. He's going to pick people that he can rely on, and it's like Stones was getting called up. I don't know if he's injured or not for City at the moment, but if you're not getting into your club 11, you shouldn't be starting for me for England.
Yeah, that's
That's
top
like that's a
bottom.
dead cert for me.
Yeah, top and bottom of it. If you can't get in your club team, you shouldn't be anywhere near the international.
Definitely. But that's one thing. Like, I don't know if that's what Carragher's mentality was at the time, but that's why he retired. Because he knew he wasn't going to get picked. Like, he's going to go to the squad, but he knows he's not going to get played.
Yeah.
So why would I waste my... Okay, yeah, you're representing your country and you're going to the World Cup or the Euros, but for him, and looking at it, what would you rather do? Go to that tournament or spend time with your family and your kids?
That's it. If you know you're not going to kick a ball over there, then
Yeah,
you're just
no
wasting
chance.
everybody's time, aren't you? But back to Ivan Toney, I think it's a good shout to get him taken. Like, 'cause to be honest, obviously he was at Newcastle. We let him go for absolute peanuts, and now he's literally worth 100 times more than what we sold him for.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that he was decent-ish, but not great. But I've been looking at his stats this season, and I am wrong. He is absolutely fantastic.
I mean, he's a bit of a penalty merchant as well, though.
Yeah, he is, but so's Harry Kane.
He's a handful. Yeah, but he's a handful. That's what I was saying before. Like I said, he bullied Ben Godfrey, and he's not the easiest person to bully. But would you have him back at Newcastle if you didn't sign Isaac? Would you have had him back?
Now I would, yeah. At the time when it was mooted, I was dead against it, especially so being quoted like 50 million. And that just seemed outrageous at the time. But now thinking about it and having looked into it a lot more, yes, I'd have him back 50 million, no problem. And obviously we could do with somebody because Isaac's out until after the World Cup now.
What's he done?
Thigh injury he picked up when training with the Sweden squad. And he was looking like he was close to a return, and it just flared up again. Or it might be his hamstring this time. I think it's his hamstring now, so he's just kind of gone from one side of the leg to the other, which is
Lovely.
Great. So yeah,
And those pointless international games.
Exactly, he didn't even get to kick a ball. He was just they sent him home before the first game, I think.
Lovely.
Yeah, so that's good. 63 million quid down the toilet so far. I mean, he's 3 games, 2 goals. Can't argue with that.
No, I mean, I think the only benefit is with the World Cup being in November, December as it is, it gives the likes of Isaac, obviously if Carville, and he's probably not going to go to the World Cup, it gives them this rest to get back to full fitness. Like we've got Godfrey who's coming back from his leg break, Townsend's coming back from big injury. They're all players that can keep rested and come back for the second half of the season where we're going to need them.
Yeah, that's the same
obviously
for us.
You with Isaac, you're going to need him as well, yeah.
Yeah, Isaac and St. Maximin's probably, we're not going to see him before the World Cup either, I don't think.
That's one of them. Do you risk them? Like,
Exactly.
Do you risk them, or do you just wait for them to come back for after the World Cup?
Maxi's now on the 3rd flare-up with the same injury.
Yeah, there's no chance of risking them. There's no point.
And it's daft. We're doing all right as it is, so why push?
Definitely.
We'll save the push for the second half of the season if things start to go wrong. So, we've got a few VAR incidents to go over from the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start with our match because there was 4 penalty shouts in the game between Newcastle and Man U, and at the time I couldn't get my head around why any of them were let go, especially Callum Wilson's. That looked blatant when Varane just body checked him off the ball. Yeah. I think they're all incidents that could have been given, but because of the position of the referee, the fact that he clearly saw the offence, VAR didn't intervene because it wasn't a clear and obvious error. Would you agree that that's why they were all let go?
I just don't understand the clear and obvious error. I think it's a load of absolute, it's bollocks. So it is because, I mean, we'll go into other details, but we had 2 last season, one against Spurs, Richarlison goes round Lloris, referee Kavanagh pointed to the spot, went to VAR, and apparently Lloris got a fingertip to it. Still don't know how. The second one was at home to Brentford. ball came into the box. Richarlison, like a Dan Burns shirt, was getting absolutely ripped off of him. Referee didn't give anything, cleared the ball, and Brentford got sent off. So we're down to 10 men. And then we lost the game 3-2. But VAR didn't get involved because apparently there was no clear and obvious error for the Richarlison penalty. Well, there kind of was. And Dermot Gallagher said on his ref watch on Monday, with the Liverpool one, the reason VAR got involved is because it didn't, it impacted in a goal or a sending off. That's why VAR gets involved. Well, we had one last season which involved a red card. So I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
And if that's going to involve in a goal scoring opportunity for Newcastle, why is that getting involved? That makes no sense.
That was the thing. That's what I was thinking about with it, especially like I said the Wilson one. Is I'm not sure if Wilson would have got to the ball before De Gea. And also, there was a mention. The commentators mentioned how there was two players there, so there was another defender there ready to cover.
Yeah.
But the covering defender should only be an issue for me if it was going to be a red card.
Yeah.
Covering defender doesn't make any difference. If one defender clatters into the striker, that's a penalty. I think if any would have been given, it should have been that one and the Sancho one. But he did himself out of a penalty by taking off like the Rocketeer.
His theatrics, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what goes against everyone now. Like, we had one last season at Anfield where Anthony Gordon went down in the box. And it was, again, I still stand by it, was a Stonewall penalty. But because of his reputation for going down easy, and he does go down easy, very, very easily, it annoys me. But it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
No, it shouldn't.
Like, that's what VAR is there for, to check if he's dived or not. I'm more than happy for them to check and go, actually, you know what? He's not touched him, book him for diving. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy with that. But they won't.
No, like I said, the clear and obvious error thing, it's a lot of grey area there.
Well, like I said, to me, it's, does it fit the Sky Six? If it benefits them, it goes for them. If it goes against them, it's one of them.
Yeah.
And obviously, we'll talk about like City, Liverpool, both on the Sky Six. But when United played Brighton at home, Danny Welbeck went down in the box, and I think it was 2-0 to Brighton at the time, or it might have been 2-1 to Brighton. They got that penalty and they scored. It's game over.
Yeah.
But they didn't give it. And then United scored later on, so it has intensity. It makes it interesting for the last 10 minutes. Or can United get this goal? Can they get it back to 3-3? Can they go on and win it? It doesn't matter. It's a penalty. It's a Stonewall penalty.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and then there was an incident in your game where somebody got their head taken off by a knee.
Yeah, I mean, so at the time I'm adamant it was never a penalty, and I mean I said to you, because you sent me a message straight away saying what's going on here, and I said straight away it wasn't a penalty. And there's a different angle that I've seen today, and I can see, because he kept going, oh, look at Pickford's reaction, and I was thinking, well, he's just got a needle in the back of the head, he's going to be a bit dazed, isn't he? He's not going to react. But I think the reaction is because he knows he's not getting the ball, and he's kind of like flung his head to block Kane. But at the same time, Kane was already going down. Yeah,
Kane had already. But any striker would, to be fair.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So if that was... But my issue is, I feel like if that was the other end of the pitch and it was Mopé, we wouldn't have got the penalty.
Yeah, I just totally see what you mean.
99% sure of it. We just wouldn't have got the penalty.
You did manage to convince me that it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So it's only because I've seen this different angle and I can see... It's just a weird way that Pickford's literally just flung his neck, sort of thing, and that's the connection.
Yeah.
But he's smart though, Harry Kane. That's the thing.
Like you say, he was already going down. He got a touch, and that was a penalty.
But the thing is, I don't know if VAR looked at it. That's my issue, because commentators were saying there was no VAR check, and I don't know. According to Match Today, there was a VAR check. Well, that's what it said on Twitter. I don't watch Match of the Day, but that's what I mean. I don't know, because there was no like pause for a minute. So usually it says like, VAR check on the screen, but there was nothing. It was just Harry Kane with a penalty, with the ball on his hand.
Did go quite quick, so yeah, maybe VAR just decided that it, again, wasn't a clear and obvious error. If that's what the referee decides, then that's what we'll go with.
I don't get
Like
it.
you say, a clear and obvious error. There's so much grey area in that. It's madness. What else have we got? We've got a list of things here. The Spurs penalty was done. The City disallowed goal. Now, I didn't watch this game because I went for a disco nap because I was knackered. So, what is this one?
So, Fabinho, he's got Haaland on his back. In real time, you cannot see the foul.
Mm-hmm.
Ball goes forward, goal. But when you slow everything down, there's going to be a foul. So when they slowed it down, you can see Haaland pull his shirt and it sends him off balance 100%.
Yeah.
And I can see why they give the foul. But where do we stop and start? Like, are we letting game? Because the referee, I thought, had a very good game. Like, he was letting everything go. He was letting all the 50-50s go. He was letting all little, like, slide tackles and slide, like, late tackles. He was letting them all go. But for him to let this one, or come back on this one, rather, it was just weird.
Yeah.
Especially considering 5 minutes later, Salah got, like I said before, rock bottom to the floor, and there was no free kick, and it was just like,
is that the one where Thiago maybe should have seen a card? Or
no, so
yeah,
so that was a little bit later. So this was one thing that annoyed me with Sky. They kept showing too many different replays, or looking at Klopp or Pep or the crowd. Like, it came to the game at one stage, and all we saw was De Bruyne? Rodri was on the floor. He showed the replay, and Thiago's just come flying in from behind and just took him out.
Sounds like a red to me.
The replay shows he slipped, but I just don't get it. Like, makes no sense.
Like you say though, like how far do you let a game go before you realistically can pull it back and say that this incident affected the next passenger play? Like, how far back can you take it? I know this is not necessarily in response to anything that's happened this weekend, but just on a general thing. It seems to be that, I mean, you look how long it takes for linesmen to put flags up now. There was one.
Yeah, I know.
Ronaldo's disallowed goal against Newcastle at the weekend. Everyone knew he was offside. Stevie Wonder could see he was offside.
Yeah.
But the flag didn't go up until he put the ball in the net. And it's like, why are you letting that play that was never going to get brought back? But that's the remit that they're given. And
it's going to cause an injury. I'm pretty sure he might have already caused one at some stage last season, this season. But say that Ronaldo chance, we know he's offside. All it takes is for, I don't know, who was in defence, Dan Burn.
Just say Botman or Shah.
Botman. All it takes is for one of them to come and snap his leg.
Yeah.
And then they look at it, he was offside.
Yeah. And then,
put your flag up then.
And then which one do you give?
Yeah.
Career-ending challenge, but we can't punish it because it was offside, so it was technically a dead ball anyway.
Yeah.
And speaking of, it was a dead ball when he took that ball off Pope and scored.
Yeah.
That was.
I mean, like I said, I had it on the TV and I was just so confused. I was like, what's he doing? Why is he taking the ball?
Everyone was. That's the thing. Like, even Pope was like, what's this prick doing now? And it was like, you sent me the clip, didn't you? The guy in the stands heard the whistle before Shaw tapped it back. But the referee's arm was in the air the entire time, and that, to me, overrides any whistle. So,
well, do you remember this was going back a few years now. Was that Old Trafford? Was it Arsenal? Where Nani did the same thing.
I don't know.
Sure, it was Nani. They did the same thing, so the referee, they either blew the whistle or they gave a free kick or some description, and whoever was in goal hasn't. So I think he gave offside, but they played on, and Nani's just took the ball around the keeper and scored.
Did it stand?
You'll need to find it. I'm sure it stood.
I don't remember it.
Because the referee either blew his whistle or there was something that was weird, and that's all I could remember when the Ronaldo ones happened. And I was thinking, they're going to give it here. Because obviously the replay showed Shah kick the ball.
It back. He did tap it back, yeah.
But at the end of the day, if the referee's not blowing his whistle or he's not saying it's active, it shouldn't matter.
I think back in the Fergie days it would have been given because no one would have dared not.
No,
And
definitely.
he was there on
Well, that's what I mean. Fergie was in charge, obviously, when this nanny goal happened. I'm
yeah.
sure it was.
Well, he was there on Sunday, and you could kind of see the influence on the team. The way they surrounded the ref after that was disallowed.
Yeah. Well,
Every
yeah,
one of
that's
those
literally
players should have got
just.
a yellow card there. That
It's
kind of
it's
shit
it's
needs stamping
stupid.
out.
Yeah. So like, for me, whenever we have an issue on the pitch, we have Cody and Tarkovsky who are always at the referee now because they're leaders.
Yeah.
But Coleman's the captain. He should be the one that goes, right, this is what we need to do. And for some reason, I love Coleman. And before he was captain, he was the most vocal on the pitch, and that's why I wanted him to be captain. But the second he's got the captaincy, he's like,
It's gone quiet.
yeah, he's gone quiet. That's the thing. And I mean, the other issue is he's getting on, and we should have replaced him a long time ago. But when he's on the pitch, he's the captain, but he's not the actual captain. Do you get what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because we've got Cody and Tarkovsky there now, like two proper leaders, and Cody, he doesn't shut up through the game. Neither does Tarkovsky, and obviously now Pickford. But we've got that spine of leaders, and we need some more like shithousery on the pitch, and people going up to the referee and surrounding them because we're too nice.
That's what our fans were saying as well. Like, you'd never see our team doing that because we're too nice. But it's not a case of being too nice in that sense. That's like, that's pure disrespect what Man United's team did.
Yeah. There was about 6 or 7 players straight over.
But we do need somebody who will go up to the ref and say, look, this isn't fucking on, mate. You've got to hit that balance. And I know what you mean.
But this is where referees need to take the stand and be like, no, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
I'll talk to the captain. The second someone gives them a lift back, just, okay, there's the yellow card for you.
Yeah, just
and it'll soon stop.
Exactly.
It'll soon stop.
I mean, imagine if you just turn around and brandish 7 yellow cards there. No one would ever do that again. That'll be the last time you'd see the ref get crowded like that.
But the other issue as well, I mean, Klopp, he got sent off in the Liverpool game. And interestingly enough, like you won't know, but over the weekend, like the Saturday Sunday games were all, I say, postponed because referees were complaining about managers and other people getting involved, on the pitch. So like dads coming up, kicking off to them basically. And when you see someone like Klopp on TV screaming at the lines from the fourth official, well, he's supposed to be this role model.
Yeah.
Not really a role model, is he? I mean, I'm glad he's actually been fined for it and he's got this 1 game ban, but he'll do it again.
That's the thing. I don't think 1 game's strong enough.
No, he'll do it again. He's done it before.
Exactly.
He's done it before and he'll keep doing it because he knows he's going to get away with it to an extent. And the thing that annoyed me about this red card is City were on the attack.
Yeah, you said before we came online that they actually stopped the play to give Klopp a red card. I don't get that.
I mean, again, the referee had a very, very good game apart from the VAR decision is 50-50. Like, if it was for Everton, I'd be like, yeah, well, you can see the foul. But if it was for me, I'd be like, it's very soft. Like, do you get what I mean? But with this attack thing, like, it's ridiculous. Sending a player, not even a player, sending someone off who's not on the pitch.
That's what I was going to say.
He has no output. He has no interference. Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, if Man City were out of attack.
It takes City like 10 minutes to put a cross in because they keep passing it around and they finally get a shot away. But who knows, they might have had a shot for once.
Exactly, it's not the point, is it? They could have gone on, had that shot and scored, then gone back and sent Klopp off, and that's double punishment right there. That's a proper kick in his massive horse teeth.
Yeah. Well, his nice new veneers from Turkey as well.
Yeah,
but,
old Turkish teeth. And yeah, I mean, like I say, I didn't see the game, but I've seen the screenshot of him going up to the fourth official with his fucking jaws all out Anfield. Yeah. I don't know what it is about. I can't stand the man at the minute. I used to love him.
I mean,
I hate him.
I've never loved him. I mean, he did all right at Dortmund, but as soon as, I mean, it's born into me. It's drilled into me from birth. Anything like Liverpool, no.
He's never going to get a good ride from you. But like, when he first came to the Premier League, I thought, I like the way he spoke. I like the way that Liverpool played. But now you watch him in his interviews, and he just goes on this long, weird stream of consciousness and he seems to mumble it into his own chest
Yeah.
at like 100 miles an hour, and all he can pick up every fifth word, and it just sounds like he's blaming somebody or something else for everything that's going wrong. Takes no
Definitely, he loves
responsibility.
a blame game. He loves a blame. Well, what was it at the start of the season? Was it too windy? Was it the water was too wet?
Too wet,
The pitch
yeah.
was too wet. It's just so many excuses. I remember it was when they were going for the league and they drew 0-0 at Goodison. He said it was too windy. That's why they didn't win.
But it was windy for the other team.
Exactly, it doesn't matter. It's too windy.
And then he took a swipe at Newcastle at the weekend, and that was the nail in the coffin for me. Like, sarcastically congratulating them for having no ceiling. Like,
well, you're forgetting that Liverpool are net spend FC though.
Yeah.
That's all their fans go on about. Net spend.
See, we were top of the net spend charts for years, but it was never a good thing to be proud of.
Yeah, same as us. That's all we have to do. Yeah. Sell to buy, sell to buy, sell to buy.
Yeah.
Sell one player for 30 million and buy another 5 for like 5 million.
But he goes on as if he's like made up a squad of bargain basement players. He just spent 85 million on Darwin Núñez, for God's sake. Have a word with yourself.
I mean, that's when it's coming bad, when you start coming out of all this, like, well, bollocks, basically. To blame Newcastle for having money, so what?
Yeah.
Just because you've got owners who are giving you money, but just not the money that you're wanting at the moment. It's ridiculous.
The thing is,
like, I don't know how much they spend on Alisson, Van Dijk, Keita. Was it 60 million on Keita?
Oh no, these all came through the academy, mate. They were all born and bred. They were sprouted out of the ground.
Straight from Millwall, yeah.
Honestly. And he goes on about Newcastle spending, but does he forget about financial fair play? We can't spend on Liverpool's level for years until we make the money that we can spend. So everything he said was just utter, bitter horse shit. Anyway, I'm getting angry now, so let's move on to something else.
It's usually me getting angry about Liverpool.
I know what is going on. Right, I'm going to save the funny one for last. So, I'll save our argument for last and the funny one before that. Okay. So, let's go on to slightly amusing. Sky Sports Big Six. You mentioned them before.
Yeah.
They took it to a whole new level at the weekend, showing the table. They showed the top 11 because Liverpool are
I didn't know there was 22 teams in the Prem.
Yeah.
I don't know there was 22.
20 divided by 2 equals 11 because we need to show Liverpool. It's the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
See, the only thing is as well, though, I feel like if that was United, because of how they're not at the moment, but because of the past couple of seasons, how poor they would have been, they would have made a point of showing the bottom half.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Look how the mighty you've fallen.
Yeah. But, again, I don't want to sound bitter, but it's Liverpool.
Plough through it.
No, it's Liverpool. It's the thing. It's Liverpool. Like, I mean, like, one thing Liverpool fans always say is, well, Everton fans is that the bitter blues. Well, no, it's because we don't like you. That's it. It's nothing to do with bitter.
It's not bitter.
It's rivalry. It's rivalry. Like, my stepdad used to always call me a bitter blue whenever I was complaining. And I know he'll laugh at that one, but it's true though. Like, how can you show a top 10? Actually, no, a top 11 as the top half of the league? It makes no sense.
I couldn't
It's just ridiculous.
Like, I first saw it on Twitter, and I had to go and verify that it was real because I thought there's no way they've actually done this. But
funnily enough, straight away after the final whistle, went back to a top 10.
Weird that. How very
They must have got the graphics mixed up.
I mean, like, obviously, you've got to show the fact that Liverpool are further down the league, but you do it by showing the bottom half, like you do with every other team in the league. Absolute joke.
Media darlings, that's why. It's not Sky Sports, it's basically LFC TV.
Yeah.
And same with BT. I mean, you only have to look at the pundits. McManaman, Owen, Carragher, Souness, Redknapp. I'm sure there's someone else. But it's just...
There's a heavy Liverpool bias, like, in every broadcast they do. I kind of still don't understand how Carragher's always allowed to commentate, like co-commentate on Liverpool's games.
no. I mean, the thing is,
no
like, I like
there.
Carragher. No, there's not. I like Carragher as a pundit. I think he's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
But when, I mean, you'll like that one, but do you remember the Origi goal when Pickford absolutely balls it up?
Yeah.
Well, I remember it. And all I remember is Carragher screaming, "Look at Klopp! Look at Klopp! He's on the pitch! Shut up!"
I know. And it's the same with Gary Neville, to be fair. He's still
Oh yeah,
he gets on the Man United
he's
games.
gone a bit worse for me. Like, I thought he was very good, but he's very well. I mean, it's the Glazers, isn't it? That's what it is for him.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's the exact same as Salford.
True.
So
Very true. So while we're on the subject of ex-Liverpool, Steven Gerrard, I haven't looked in the last 10 minutes, but does he still have a job?
I think so. Nothing's come through on Sky Sports that I can see.
But
it's got to be a matter of time. It's got to be a matter of time.
They've already got feelers out for Pochettino, apparently.
Yeah, well, when I woke up for work this morning, the first thing I saw on Twitter was he'd been sacked, and I was like, no, surely not. And then it was some blag Aston Villa account. Someone had changed the at to Aston Villa and all that, and it just hit Twitter, didn't it? And I was like, yeah. But
it's coming.
No, it's got to. I mean, there's no excuses. He's had all last summer. He's had this summer. He's had January as well. He's had his signings. He's had his money. He's built this team. And obviously we spoke last week with Crippy. He got rid of Mings as captain. Yeah. He's made McGinn his own captain. So he's had his own input. It's his own tactics. And it's just not working. But did you see Mings' mistake on the weekend?
No. What did he do?
Oh, it's terrible. It's so bad. So the first goal for Mason Mount, the ball it somehow gets looped up in the air, and he jumps to header it, and he just doesn't. He just basically hits his head,
like a turtle.
Falls to Mason Mount, and he puts it in 1-0. But like, there's a still image of Tyrone Mings who's just stood there like, just looking at the ball.
Maybe it's a protest. Maybe he knew.
Gerrard out, yeah.
Yeah, that's
he's getting a taste of his own medicine.
Finger to Gerrard.
Because I remember when they had Hodgson, Liverpool. I don't know if you've seen the clip. He got a penalty at Blackburn, and he's got his hands on his hips and he's looking at the bench. He's like, looking at the goal, looking at the bench, looking at the goal, and then he misses, as if to say, "Yeah, I don't want you anymore."
No, I don't think I've seen that. That's a bit nasty. That like. Anyway, so yeah, Pochettino as a replacement. He should be able to get a tune out with him, surely.
I mean, don't want to be disrespectful to Villa, but is it not a bit of a downgrade?
Massive.
Like,
I mean,
he did wonders at Spurs.
A lot of places are a downgrade.
Absolute wonders at Spurs, and I feel like, well, he was being linked for United, weren't he, before they got Ten Hag?
Yeah,
like that was the replacement. So I feel he could wait until. I reckon he could wait till next summer. Definitely.
There's still a lot of doubters around Pochettino. So maybe he would take the Villa one just to say, "Look, I can do it, and I'm going to do it with ease." Watch.
I mean, they've got a decent squad though, Villa. Like Martinez in goal, I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, he's class.
They've got
Buendia.
A decent defence, but attack-wise, Danny Ings, Watkins, Buendia, Coutinho, Leon Bailey needs to improve. He's not done much since they signed him, and I thought he was going to be a baller.
Yeah.
But John McGinn, they signed Nkulu, was it? The defensive midfielder from Marseille in the summer.
But they've got
Douglas Luiz. They've got a good
team, and that's why.
But again, that's like us last season. It's like us last season.
Yeah,
the team they just don't want to play.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but I think I'd back Poch if he goes there. I'd back him to do well. But yeah, like you say,
I might like Villa for a bit then.
Maybe to a step down.
I just feel like there's going to be. At the end of the season, I reckon there's going to be someone big who's going to go. Like Chelsea, they're hot and cold. Obviously, they've only just got Potter, but you could see like if they miss out on the Champions League, they'll just get rid of him.
Do you think? Because obviously Potter, I think the thing with Potter was Todd Bowley wanting to put his stamp on Chelsea.
Yeah,
Surely
definitely.
you can't continue with what Abramovich was doing, where like you lost a game, you got sacked.
You'd
Surely
like to
they're not
think
going to do
so.
that.
You'd like to think so, but I don't know if was it might have just been an Abramovich thing, or is it a Chelsea thing?
Well, time will tell, I suppose. Well, I don't think Potter will go at the end of the season. Maybe he might.
No. Yeah, I'd love that.
Just, I don't know. Everyone just might get fed up with his shit and just turf him back to Germany.
Well, that's the thing. So, who's Bayern Munich's manager now? That's the only team he's going to leave for, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he's only going to go to Germany, either back at Dortmund or I'd say it's probably going to be Munich because that's where they all go, isn't it? From Dortmund to Munich anyway.
Yeah, the only two that matters. It's like the Scottish League, isn't it?
Yeah.
Only two teams, isn't it?
So that's the only team I can see him going to, but he might, well, you never know. If he continues to complain as he is, and yeah. How much was Nunez again?
85 million.
Yeah. If he spends another 85 million in January on, I don't know, another Balassi, he might not last the
Might
season.
not last until the end. Right, I think we've both got a common hatred in the league, in football in general, but it definitely doesn't belong in the Premier League. And it's goal music and that absolute tin pot behaviour of going, you're shit, on every goal kick. I've always said that should be an automatic 3-point deduction for each offence for any team that has goal music or fans that do that.
It just screams lower league. Like, that's all I can think of. It's always the same teams that come up. So, Brentford, Forest have done it. Who else has done it now? Brentford, Forest, Brighton do it as well. Leeds do it. But it literally just screams lower league football for me. There's nothing wrong with lower league football, but it's just so cringy.
Your fans are going to take the step up as well. You're in the big time now, lads. Come on, calm down. And goal music, if you can't create your own atmosphere after a goal, you don't belong in the league.
No.
I've never understood it. It's so American as well.
Yeah. So the only other thing what annoys me about goal music is someone with the drums.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, there's always someone, because I remember at Huddersfield, we played them last season in the Carabao Cup, and for some reason they only gave us half of the away allocation. So I was sat in the home end next to the away fans, but 5 rows in front of me was the ultras with this drum for 90 minutes. And I was just like, oh my fucking God, no.
And while we're throwing the drummer in the bin, can we throw the England band in the bin as well? Because I cannot stand them either. They ruin every international match. God,
we only ever watch them every 4 years anyway. Or 2 years, sorry. International tournaments.
Still enough though, isn't it? To go on your tits.
Yeah.
Right then, we'll move on to some tiny little game in the middle of all the fixtures tomorrow at a place called St James's Park.
Yeah.
Where the mighty Newcastle take on some team that plays in blue.
Yeah. The team with 9 league titles and more history than Newcastle.
Home team under the lights, so it's clearly going to be a Newcastle win. But the big story for me
again,
is Pickford
it's the atmosphere as well.
Yeah.
The atmosphere at Newcastle. It's always got an atmosphere no matter what, but especially with the evening. And I've always said it, evening games at home under the lights. So I was thinking about this before, where you were saying Pope versus Pickford. And the last few times we played Newcastle, albeit it was under Ancelotti last time he did it, he dropped Pickford and he played, we had Begovic in goal. I know we had Robin Olsen. It was Robin Olsen in goal. We didn't win, so it didn't really matter. But Pickford's grown up since then.
Do you think? Because I think that we could get under his skin.
It is
so
Newcastle.
easily.
It is Newcastle, but I feel like he needs to grow up. If he's still got that mentality of I'm going to try and get one over them,
yeah,
which is fair enough at the final whistle once we've if we've won, once we've won. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
I'm
Save
all for
at the
it.
end.
But not during the game, things like that, because it's just come back to bite you on the arse.
And it
will do for him.
It always does. At home, anyway. Goodison's a different story, but it's at James's Park. He just bottles it every time, and I don't know. I don't think Lampard will drop him. I don't think he'll try and spare him.
We can't drop him. I mean, Begovic is our backup keeper, who's okay.
Yeah.
But bias aside, Pickford's one of the best in the league.
I mean, he has to be.
For me.
Yeah, he's got to be.
So, the best keepers in the league is Alisson and Ederson. And then I'd be like Ramsdale, Pickford. Pope. I'll have to throw Pope in just to keep you happy. And like De Gea. And I'd say like Jose Sarr and David Raya. Because I like Raya at Brentford,
well,
sorry.
Yeah,
and even Sanchez at Brighton. I reckon they're good keepers. I reckon they're players that we'd look for if we had to sell Pickford. Well, I'd like to go for rather. Whether or not they come is a different story.
They should look over your shoulder when you play a football manager like Eddie Howe did.
Yeah.
We were talking of before we were recording. That made no sense to anybody. So we'll kick off with the game predictions, but we'll start with that one while we're talking about it. What have you gone for? What's your score prediction for it?
So I was doing a thing before. Last time we beat you was in 2019 at St James's. And it was Ancelotti who was in charge. We played 4-4-2. So I was speaking to my dad on the weekend after the Tottenham game. He was like, just go 4-4-2. Proper old English, like big Sam, 4-4-2. But I can't see Calvert-Lewin starting. I'd love for him to start with him and Mope because he'd have someone to play alongside him. And I think that's when he plays a lot better. But we'll play the same team that played at Tottenham. And I think Gordon will play as well. And I think St. Maximin and Isaac, not playing for you is going to be a big miss. But Callum Wilson loves scoring past us. He always turns up. He used to do it for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Week in, week out. Whenever we played them, it was like, for fuck's sake.
It's also quite
all I'd get is that gif of Wilson from Castaway. That's all I'd get. So I know what I'm going to get tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks for putting ideas in my head. Wilson likes a goal at home as well, so I'd be worried if I were you.
I mean, I'd like to think we'll score. I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle then. I'm going to have to go 2-1 Newcastle.
2-1. That's not bad.
Simply because these are at home and it's an evening game. And we've played okay first half of the last two games, but in the second half we just haven't turned up.
Yeah, it was literally a game of two halves against Tottenham the other day. I just hope Onana's got the same boots on that he had the other day. His banana shoes. I mean, it's just chances. I mean, you had them at Old Trafford as well, but take chances. It's a difference. That's a given. It's a different story, isn't it? But the Damari Gray one where he could have passed to Mope, you just pass. Yeah.
Pass the ball. I don't care. Like, you was always taught when you were a kid, one, shoot across goal, which he didn't do, or pass.
Yeah.
Go for the simple option. Make sure we get a goal at the end of the day. Like, if we were 2-3-0 up and it was the 90th minute, I don't blame him going for goal. But no, just pass. Yeah. Like, if we get that tomorrow night, I'll be fuming. I mean, he doesn't pass.
Again, though, it's a similar story at Newcastle. We always make the wrong decision in the final third. My worry is tomorrow. I think there's going to be a few changes made by Eddie Howe, with it being a 3-game week. So I can see Lascelles playing, and that's a worry. I know.
Well, you're saying that. I mean, he scored an own goal last at St James's last season, but then he also went up the other end and scored.
Yeah.
Oh no, Holgate got the own goal.
Holgate got the own goal. So yeah, it was just a comedy. So I think with him playing, and I think Sean Longstaff will come out and Willock will go back in. And we'll probably have Fraser on the left instead of Jacob Murphy. So I'm going to go with a 3-0 to Newcastle. I'm not doing it to spite. I was going to go 2-0 And then just something in my head just said, no, it's 3. And I'm bagging Callum Wilson to get a couple and Bruno to get one.
So you got to put a bet on it then?
No, I'm not a betting man. I'm trying to cut down all my vices, you see. So you've got 2-1 and I've got 3-0.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I'm doing that is because if we win, I can say, well, I mean, I didn't want to rub it in. But then if we lose, I can be like, well, I told you we're going to get beat.
I haven't got a leg to stand on, have we? If it goes the other way, I'm going to look like a right tit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll not mention it.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my prediction. I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with 2-2 draw.
A 2-2 draw.
Yeah, 2-2 draw. I reckon we'll be 2-1 up and we'll concede late.
That is the kind of thing that will happen in a Newcastle Everton game. Like,
yeah,
there's always
a late goal.
There's always some kind of weird drama, like people fucking chaining themselves to the post.
Yeah. We'll be scoring in the 99th minute.
99th.
Yeah, well, that's what it was last season at Goodison because of the guy chaining himself to the post. Yeah,
it was.
But the season before that as well, and we were 2-0 up, and it was the 92nd minute. It was still 2-0, and by the 93rd minute, it was 2-2. Do you remember?
I can't.
He scored 2 goals in stoppage time. Scored 2 goals in stoppage time.
Yes, I do remember that.
Who scored twice?
It was Lejeune, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Lejeune. Because I remember I was watching it and my mate Joe was sending me a message. He was like, oh, he got the 3 points. I was like, mate, I've watched Everton for too long to know we are not safe. As soon as that first goal went in, I sent him a message, went, fuck you. Thanks for that. And I just knew the second goal was coming because it's just so Everton. It's just so Everton.
It's that fixture again, like I say, it's just primed for shenanigans.
Yeah.
Right, and let's fire through the rest because we've got a lot of fixtures to cover with it being a 3-game week. Bournemouth versus Southampton on Wednesday. What's he got?
Bournemouth are looking good with Solanke and Phil Billing. I'm going to go 2-0.
Wow, I've got 0-0. It's going to be a really turgid, boring match. Swiftly moving on to Brentford versus Chelsea. I've got Chelsea winning 2-1.
I'll go Chelsea 2-1 as well, yeah.
I just think Brentford will get one. Big eye there.
Yeah, it's going to be Toney, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Liverpool versus West Ham. Liverpool are on the march again, so I've got them 2-0.
I'd love for Moisey to do something at Anfield, but he never does. So it's going to be a 3-0.
Wow. Newcastle Everton we've done. Manchester United versus Tottenham. What you got?
I'm going to go United win 2-1.
Oh,
yeah.
I've gone Tottenham 1-0.
See, I mean, I like Tottenham. I like what they're doing. And I said that, I think it was the first one. I like what Conte's doing. But we were terrible on the weekend. And the only reason they won was from a penalty.
Yeah.
A deflected goal and that 4 minutes to go. Because we threw everyone forward.
And
I think United they're getting better, and I feel Tottenham's game plan will be what we was at Tottenham, to sit back and try and soak up and counter.
Yeah.
And I think that'll backfire, especially when they play Ronaldo up front, because he just knows how to score.
No, he knows how to take the ball off a dead ball situation.
He knows how to score in an empty net as well.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Thursday night is Fulham versus Aston Villa, who will probably be without a manager. So I'm going to 1-0 Fulham.
If they've got Gerrard, Fulham win. If they don't have Gerrard, Villa win.
Nice.
100%.
Lots of faith 100%. In Gerrard there.
100%. It'll happen. And then they'll all be like, told you. Just needs to get rid of him.
So have you got a score?
1-0 either way.
Either way.
Yeah.
What about Leicester versus Leeds? What have you got on that one?
2-2.
I've gone draw as well. I've gone 1-1. I'm not sure why, but I can't separate them.
No, I can't. I think it's Leicester. They're not as good at home as they should be. I mean, Rodgers is under a lot of pressure as well, to be fair.
Well, he's also on the list for Villa, isn't he?
Yeah.
The manager merry-go-round. The Saturday we have Forest versus Liverpool.
They played last season in the cup, didn't they? And they only just beat them.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool.
I've gone 2-0. But yeah,
I think Brennan Johnson will score for Forest. I like Brennan Johnson. I love him.
I'm not sure whether the Forest have got enough to get through Liverpool's defence. Your lads have got Palace at Goodison.
I'd like to think Calvert-Lewin will start that game, so I reckon we'll win. I mean, I've got Palace on TV now. As long as Eze and Elise don't stay fit, I'll go 2-0 Everton.
I've got you going 1-0.
Take that. Take the 3 points.
That's 3 points in the day. What's the scores in the Palace game?
Yeah, it's 0-0 Palace Wolves. So it kicked off at 8:15.
No, was it? I thought it was an 8.
Yeah.
Where were we? Oh, Man City versus Brighton. Brighton are good, but Man City are phenomenal. So I'm going 3-0. I know I was completely wide of the mark the last time I said Man City 3-0, but
yeah, I'm a stick saying 3-0. Back to normality for City.
Yeah, especially at the Etihad.
Hopefully, I'll get some right-footed goals this time.
Actually, Erling Haaland missed a game with goals, and I don't think he'll be keen on that. So
no,
he's going to get a couple. Chelsea versus Man United. Interesting one. What have you got?
That's got to be a 5:30 kickoff, that, hasn't it? Or is it at lunchtime?
I don't know. I should really put the kickoff times on here. I don't know.
It's got to be on TV.
It's got to be televised, yeah.
Yeah. See, I think if it's a lunchtime kickoff, I'm going to go United. But if it's a late kickoff, I'll say draw. Let me check now.
Yeah, I'll have a quick look. I've gone 2-1 Chelsea regardless of kickoff time. Again,
Forest Liverpool's early kickoff.
So that must be the late one.
Chelsea United's 5:30, so I'll go draw 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah.
Especially after seeing the way Man United played against us at the weekend. I know it was 0-0, but they didn't ever look like scoring, even when they had the pile of pressure on at the end. So I fancy Chelsea to do it. I'm going to say 2-1. Sunday, we've got Villa versus Brentford, and I'm going with Brentford to turn them over 2-1.
Again, if Gerrard's there, I'll go for Brentford, but if he's not, I'm going to go with a Villa win. So, like I said, if they've not got him, if he's gone by Thursday, they'll get 2 wins in a row. 100%. It's happening.
Poor Crippy be on his little deathbed now. On you leave my Villa alone.
I'll go 2-1, no either way.
So, both your Villa predictions are completely dependent on whether Gerrard's there or not.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because I just love it. Keegan. I love it. I love it.
Leeds versus Fulham. What have you got for this one?
I got to go with Leeds win there. 2-0.
Yeah. I've gone 2-2, but I think you might be right with a Leeds win. They are pretty good at Elland Road.
Yeah.
But I'll stick with 2-2 because that's what I've written down. Southampton versus Wosinau.
Yeah, it's got to be Arsenal. I can't keep saying they're going to slip up.
If they're going to slip up, it's not going to be against Southampton.
It'll be against someone terrible though. Like Southampton aren't very good. Sorry, I'm going to get sidetracked here. But did you see the game against West Ham on the weekend?
No, I think I just watched the goal.
Southampton's goal. The referee blocked Jared Bowen.
Yes. Yes, we were meant to talk about that. I forgot.
Yeah. So he blocked Jared Bowen, and I thought that was an absolute shambles.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Like, he's not touched the ball, but he has had a direct impact on play.
Totally.
Like, that should not have counted.
Yeah, I forgot.
I mean, it's unfair. I mean, it took a deflection and then went in, but the referee, it's a poor one for Southampton's point of view, but at the end of the day, if that was against them, they wouldn't have been happy.
No, exactly. Bowen could have, he might not necessarily have made the tackle, but he would have done enough
Just having that
to
pressure.
change the direction of the ball before he hit it. Yeah, that was shocking, actually. I can't believe we forgot about that. Well remembered.
No, but no, I'll go Arsenal 2-0. 2-0 at Southampton.
Yeah, that's what I've got as well. Wolves v Leicester. I've got a goalless or draw on that one.
Yeah, it'll be 1-1, I reckon. Then
It's not going to be the most scintillating of games, I don't think.
No, I reckon it'll be a boring game. It'll be like either 2 early goals or 2 late goals.
Yeah. Now we've got Tottenham Newcastle as the late kick-off. What have you got on that one?
See, again, I said before, when we played them, they weren't very good. See, I think if you had St. Maximum, because of the pace, because they were scared of Damari Gray's pace on the weekend, like he tore them apart. But no, I've got to go Tottenham. I'll go 2-0 again then. I'll go, same again.
Well, I've gone 2-1 Tottenham.
It's fair.
Just, with them having the home advantage, and they are a good side. I can't see us turning them over. West Ham Bournemouth is the Monday night fixture. What do you got?
Under the lights, aren't they? So it's got to be West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah. When we meet Eddie. West Ham.
West Ham.
He always comes into work, he goes, "All right, Liam, how are we today?"
German.
You'll love that. Sound like Klopp, do I? Yeah.
So what's your score prediction?
3-1 West Ham.
Oh, high scoring. I've gone 2-0. So same goal difference, but you've got a bit more confidence in them than I have.
Yeah, I reckon they'll. It'll be a close one, then they'll score later on, I reckon, because Bournemouth will start throwing players forward.
I think they're going to get caught out.
Yeah.
Well, considering it's just the two of us, we've managed to gab on for over an hour here.
I know. And we missed out some things as well.
Exactly. So, we need to start working on on trimming these down already, I think. But, I think that's pretty much done. Unless you've got anything else that we've missed.
No, I'm all good. Like I said, there's some game happening tomorrow with some obsessed fans against Everton. That's about it, yeah.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger's going to be lit up tomorrow night, I can tell.
I stay quiet until the final whistle.
Yeah.
I might talk throughout the game when things are happening, but I won't take the piss if we take the lead or anything like that.
I'm all right with that deal because, again, the weird things happen in that match.
I've learned for far too many mistakes to shut my mouth until the final whistle.
Yep, me too. Lived too long.
My biggest regret was 2005.
What was that one?
Istanbul.
Were you getting a bit too cocky with your mate for you?
Well, my stepdad's a Liverpool fan and he went out to watch it. And at half time I rang him.
Oh, no.
And then the first goal went in. And then the second one, he rang me back up and I said to him, I was like, "Don't answer the phone. Don't answer it." As soon as the game finished, I was like, "I'm going to bed now. I'm done."
Moved out that weekend.
It's like, I'm out. I'm going to bed.
Class. Well, I think that's a good note to end on, mate. So thanks for joining us again. And let's see if we can rope Crippy back in next week if he's feeling up to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I say, we still need one of the Liverpool lads to come in. Otherwise, we're just going to keep on hammering them, I think.
They just don't want the smoke, that's what it is. They just don't want it.
Can't handle it, can they?
Because they've probably never been to Anfield. That's the issue.
Right. I think we better go now before we get in trouble. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, whatever it is you're doing. And please hit the follow buttons and the share buttons and things like that. And let's get this growing into something decent. Thanks very much, and we'll catch you next week. Cheers.
Bye.